This CenterPoint Fund video will be on the feature of budgeting, and it's going to cover the topic of copying actual information or previous budget information into your current budget. For my example, I will be working on a general fund budget for the Department of the Administrative Department. I'm going to be budgeting or copying over from actual information our electricity expense. Okay, so to see the properties that I have set for this budget, we could go to File and Properties. And you'll be able to see here that I have it selected for the general fund and for the date range of 1/1 of 2022 to 12/31 of 2022. On the entry mode tab, I also have it set to go to the administrative department. So I'm going to go ahead and come back to my budget here, and I'm already highlighted on the line for electricity, although I don't need to be highlighted on the line to do a copy, because once I get to the copy screen, I'm going to have to filter for the account or accounts that I want to copy. Okay, so I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to go Copy to Budget. And what I want to do is I want to take the prior year, which was 2021, and I want to copy all of the electricity expense that was allocated to administrative expenses or administrative department in 2021. I want to copy that to my 2022 budget. So I'm going to be copying from actual. Okay, it is possible that you could be copying from other budget information, and in that case, you would have selected budget, and then you would have to choose the budget that you were copying from. Since I'm copying from actual, the only thing I have to do is select the date range that I'm copying from. So I'm going to copy from January of 2021. So I'm going to come up here and go to January of 2021. To December of 2021. Okay, so here it is. So that's the actual range that I'm copying from. Now I need to filter for the account or accounts that I want. So I'm going to choose that I want to filter for those accounts that are in the account category of utilities expense. So at least I have a shorter list of accounts to dig through. And the account that I am actually going to be using is the electricity expense. So I'm going to move that over to the right, and I'm going to click OK. Now, I don't want to bring over all the electricity expense since my budget is just for my general fund department, my administrative department. I want to just select those transactions that had been allocated to my administrative department. So I'm going to select the administrative department there. Now I'm not worried about budgeting for different locations, and I'm not worried about budgeting for different projects, tracking number 1 or tracking number 2. If I was budgeting for a specific location, I would want to choose that location here. And if I was budgeting for a specific project, I would choose that project there. But I haven't been using those features, so we're going to go ahead and just leave those set to all. Now, on the right-hand side, we're going to tell the system what we want to do with that data. Well, since I'm copying from January of 2021, I want to start putting the January 2021 into the period of January of 2022. That way, if a transaction was February of 2021, it would go into the next month as well of February of 2022. So this is the beginning period of where data starts to go into the budget. If I had typed numbers already into the cells on the budget, do I want to replace those numbers, or do I want to add to the data that's already there? Since I don't have any data in there already, it's okay if I choose replace or add. It should be the same. Then you're going to choose the mode that you want those entries to come into. Now, previous videos talk about the difference between open entry and journal entry offset to cash. We're monitoring our cash levels, so I am going to go ahead and choose journal entry offset to cash. When using journal entry offset to cash, I do need to choose a bank account then. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the bank account that I want it to offset. Okay, now you need to tell the system what you want to do with all of the department information. So if there was a department called administrative department on these transactions over here, do I want these transactions in my new budget to also have that same department? Now I'll probably want to do that. I'll probably want to copy it. Okay, I could either copy it or I could say assign a specific value and then choose the administrative department. Okay, so I could do it like that as well. Either one will work for this scenario. The third option is to not copy it at all, which means the entries in this budget are not going to have any department on them. So I'm going to choose the option to copy the source information. I don't need locations, so I'm going to say don't copy that information. The same thing with projects. And I'm going to do the same thing on these tracking numbers. Let's not copy that information. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and then it's going to go ahead and start the copy. You're going to see here then after the copy that it's gone ahead and brought in the values for the transactions that were last year into this year's budget. And if I was to go and edit these, so if I went in and edited one of these current cells, you would see here that it is also going to the administrative department, but that the location is blank because we said don't use the location. Okay, so it copied over those amounts, and that's going to be the same for each one of those amounts. Now, what if I didn't filter for the Department of Administrative? Okay, so what would have happened? So we're going to take a look at, let's go to the phone expense, the phone and internet expense. And we're going to go ahead and once again do a copy. So I'm going to go to edit and I'm going to go to copy to budget, and we're going to choose the same date range and everything like that. So we're going to choose actual, and we're going to go to January of 2021, and we're going to copy to from December of 2021. So January to December. This time I'm going to choose a different account, although it will still be in the account category of utilities expenses. But this time I'm going to choose my phone and internet account. Okay, I am not going to filter it for just those items that are in the Department of Administrative. Okay, so I'm not going to filter it this time. I am still going to choose journal entry offset to cash and choose my bank account. And I am still going to copy so whatever department was on these transactions in 2021, I'm going to copy into my new budget with the same department. So I'm going to go ahead and say don't copy the rest of the information, and we're just going to copy over that department information. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and it's going to go ahead and start that copy. Okay, so the information copied over, and either I did not have it set to January and I need to go back and copy January through May again, or I might have accidentally just selected June through December because I don't have anything in those previous months. It's also possible that since this month here has such a large number in it that it just was for all of those previous months. But if I were to edit one of these cells, I'm going to highlight this cell here and go to edit and edit current cell. And you'll see here that part of that amount is for the administrative department and part of it is for the police department. So it brought over both. Okay, now remember my properties under file and properties was set to administrative department. So that copy is kind of ignoring that because it's bringing it over exactly how it was in my prior data. So it's kind of ignoring the fact that my property there is set to administrative department. So that little example was just to show you how important it is to make sure that you're filtering for the right information, because I wouldn't want the police department numbers in my administrative department budget.